What's going on, everyone? My name's Captain Crush, and you found my channel. What I do here is I break down fantasy sports, particularly on PrizePicks, Sleeper, Underdog, you name it, I cover it. Right now, we have 4 WNBA games. I will be covering NFL DraftKings all season long and NBA when it returns, but for now, we got to get through this summer. We have about 30 days left of this nonsense, so let's get through it. I know it's been a minute since I released a YouTube video, but folks, I've been busy, but coming in August, I will get back on the train for you guys. I still do my live stream stuff in my Discord every day, but all that being said, let's get into this. Phoenix Mercury versus the Fever, over under 158, 5.5 point favorites for Indiana. Did you ever think you'd see the Fever being a favorite? Not me. Sun versus Lynx, 11.5 point spread favoring Connecticut. Can you dig it? Over under 162.5. Sparks Liberty, 166.5. Los Angeles Sparks are dogs by 8.5 points, and then the Atlanta Dream and the Las Vegas Champions, Aces, 13.5 point favorites for the Aces, 178.5 over under. That is a lot of points, okay? This app right here, it'll give you all the games, props, and insights. It's called Outlier Bet. If you want to use it, you get 37 days free if you use promo code CRUSH. So get on it. You'll get all of August free and a little bit extra. So I have a couple plays that I like a lot today, so I'm going straight to PrizePicks, the king of the road. Why? It's Taco Tuesday. So let me tell you something about Taco Tuesday. The first taco, Mr. Freddy, he's up. I don't like the original line. I probably would have taken under, but at 3.5, I'm going to go ahead and take more because I don't care about how I feel. I don't care about my emotion. All I care about is the discount, and it's going to hit more often than not. So stop being a degen and just take more on the tacos. If you put less on a taco like that, uninstall PrizePicks because you're doing it wrong, okay? Let's go over to WNBA. Remember, your first leg is always going to be the taco. And second, my job is not to spoon feed you unless you're paying me to do it. If you don't want to be spoon fed, this is what you need to do. Pay attention to what I'm saying, all right? So we got the Indiana Fever versus the Phoenix Mercury, and Griner's out. There's a couple other injuries on that team, so we're going to be left with Cunningham, Boston, Mitchell, Wheeler. All these girls are probably going to be in play. Let's go ahead and see what we can do. Aaliyah Boston has been suffering lately, and by suffering, I mean for those that have been taking overs because you've been getting sold. Let's take a look. Look at all those 5 red peppers. You hate to see it. I've been telling everybody in the Discord, reluctantly so, to fade her props. Absolutely. Why? Because this team has no chance of winning anything. They've completely given up their season, but today they're actual favorites because Phoenix is another dumpster dive team and they've given up on their season. So what are we going to do here? Well, Brittany Griner being out of the mix means that they have barely any rim protection except for who? Turner? I'm not buying it. Go ahead and take Aaliyah Boston at 7.5 rebounds. This isn't a core play, folks. It's not a core play. I repeat, she can grab rebounds. She's absolutely a monster in the paint. Has she been lately? No, she hasn't been. In fact, if I click this last 5, which a lot of you people are glad to see return, I never look at the last 5 except for a visual purpose, okay? Seattle 7, Sparks 6, Sparks 4, Liberty 1, and Washington, who gives up a ton of rebounds, was the last time she got this, and she got 8, and that was on July 19th. Guess what? There's 31 days in July. It's now August 1st, so maybe she gets a bounce back, but is it anything to do with that? This is the deal. It's a deflated line. It's normally 8.5 to 9, so since it's at 7.5, that's your case to be able to take it. You want to buy low and sell high, okay? That's the deal. Treat it like a stock market. So you'll take Boston over 7.5 rebounds as a dart. Again, it's not a core play. So if comment guy comes at me on my Twitter or YouTube and he's like, hey, Boston sold, I'm going to tell you and I'm going to use you for content because I'm specifically telling you right now, she's due for a big game. She's due to get rebounds with no Brittany Griner there. However, she is not a core play. That means don't overexpose yourself to this prop. She's not an anchor. She's not a core play. She's nothing but a dart, which means make your slip and then put her in a few of them if you want, 1, maybe 2 max, but don't overexpose yourself, okay? Now I'm getting off my soapbox with Boston. I've had enough. I'm just saying, if you're going to target anyone from that team, it should be Boston, number 1, and that would be what you want to target, okay? Now, on the other side of that coin, I saw this everywhere. This is for ZX Dex. It's your day to get shout out, buddy. Sophie Cunningham over 1.5 3-pointers. I hate this prop. I think it's absolute dog water. Why? Because Sophie Locks and the 5 red peppers has been selling like her life depends on. If I had a freaking nickel for every time Sophie sold, I'd be rich. Point blank. Look at this. She's been cashing the 3-pointers even though she's been selling. I can't wrap my head around it. So I went back and I looked at the last time they played when they got blown out. They got dusted. No Brittany Griner. Keep that in mind. Chicago Sky, 104 points. Phoenix Mercury, 85. You can get this for free. Just go to ESPN. Just do the legwork, folks, okay? I told you about Turner. That's going to be their new rim protection without Griner there. She got 6 rebounds. Gustafsson got 8 rebounds, okay? The two we're going to look at, Diana Taurasi, old crafty veteran Diana Taurasi. Nobody likes rostering her, but I will take a shot today on her fantasy score. You better believe it. And possibly even her assists. But Cap, she only got 4 last game. I don't care about last game. The line's deflated. It used to be at 6, then it dropped to 5.5, then 5. Now it's at 4.5. So if you want to take a dart on Diana, you take her fantasy score and you click more. That's how you do it. And then Sophie Cunningham, all right? Check this out. Game blowout. Chicago Sky plays elite defense at some point sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Sophie, she played 34 minutes and she still was dog water. So the coach is going to give her extended run whether she plays good or not. I haven't figured it out yet, but it is what it is. So she shot 6 field goals, 5 of which were 3-pointers, and she made 2 of them. So most of her shots are going to be 3-pointers. So this is what I went by. If I think she's going to shoot 5 3-pointers today, do I think that she can get 2 more often than not against a garbage Fever team? Absolutely. So I went ahead and put it in. Again, not a core play, folks. I don't like this game at all. I'm going game by game today. So I'm literally just going to cover the games in individual sequence. And for these 2 games, for this first game, this is what I got. Boston and Cunningham, those 2 are in play. I just talked about Miss Diana, the crafty veteran, over 30. If you want to take her assists at 4.5, that's fine too. Again, not core plays, but darts, because no one from this game is a core play. And then Erica Wheeler, 4.5 assists. I know it right away. I know she's been crushing. So if I click this last 5, I'm going to see 5 green beans, and that alone is going to make me want to get off it. Okay, I was wrong. She had 5, 7, 8, 2, and 4. If you want to take a shot on Erica Wheeler, 4.5 assists, you can. I also think you could take a shot on her fantasy score being 24.5. It's not terrible. Again, the matchup, they're favored. Someone's going to have to score. Vegas knows something because they got them winning by 6.5. Is that what it was? Absolutely. So go ahead and try to find what you can find. If you want to take her points, that's in play too. Okay, I covered all that game. I'm probably going to stay away from Kelsey Mitchell, but I hate to say it, 16.5 points. If I was going to target anything of Kelsey Mitchell, it would be her points, but I'm just not going there today. All right, so that's that first dumpster fire game. Let's move on. God's sake. All right, so we got Minnesota and Connecticut, and Kayla McBride has been filling in big shoes. There's a lot of injuries over there. No Collier. You want to hear something about Collier, folks? It's been a minute since I was on this YouTube, but I'm going to break it down. I've been ranting and raving and preaching the same sermon over and over. These coaches don't know what they're doing in the WNBA. They ran Nafisa Collier an entire half. She didn't have one break, and then they proceeded to run her the entire game basically when they were getting blown out. And the entire time, I was sweating that game. I had her unders. Luckily, they cashed, but the point still remains. You cannot, you should not, you do not play a player an entire game unless you're in a playoff situation where it's win or go home, because now Collier's injured. Why? Because she got ran into the ground, just like I said it. Ask anyone who was in my Discord during the live sweat. I called this. I don't pray for injuries. I think they're ridiculous. I don't wish injury on any player, whether I have under, over, whatever. I'm just saying the coaches need to wake up in this league. If you're trying to market this league, you need better coaching. You don't play your player an entire half in a game that means nothing, okay? That's how people get injured, and it's stupid and it's nonsense, and I'm calling you out, okay? So let's move on. Kayla McBride has been carrying the boats the last couple of games. She just played this matchup. It's a rematch. There's a lot of rematches today. Actually, I think there's 2. But she just played this game. She got 19. She got 26 versus the Liberty, 15 there. The Aces, she got 10, and she put up a stinker. She's the type of girl who's going to chuck and pray. Chuck and pray. So if you want to take a dart, this is the highest her line's been at in a minute. It's usually been at 11.5, 10.5. Now it's at 15. Because of those injuries, someone needs to score on that team. She's probably going to be the one. I'm not taking her today, but she's absolutely in play, okay? Diamond Miller, same thing. She played very little minutes last game. I believe she barely played in the second half. I think she had early foul trouble. I think she picked up 2 fouls in the first, if I'm not mistaken. She had a little ankle tweak in the July 28th game versus the Liberty. She is one of their best contributors contributing scorers right now. If you want to take a shot on diamond, you can maybe find a diamond in the rough and pick her out because she's in play. Again, I'm not going there because I have 4 games. I can be extremely picky. Okay, now the one lady who's finally woke up, who finally remembered she's Dawana Winner. Okay, Dawana Winner Bonner, 19.5 points. It's in play. What do I like more? I like her fantasy score. It's 34.5. Oh, they bumped it to 35, but I got it at 34.5 all day today earlier. I'm sorry that the video's late, folks. Tell you guys every single day. Discord is priority. That's where I do most of my stuff right now because those are the ones that are paying me for it, and that's the world we live in. I gotta be loyal, okay? But I still got love for my YouTube faithful, all right? Half you guys are already in my Discord anyways. So, Minnesota, she put up 51, 37, 34, 39. Do I care about any of this? Absolutely not. Does it look like she's due regression? Absolutely. Is it going to be versus Minnesota? I don't think so, okay? She's got a 50-point ceiling, folks. 50, 37. Her range of outcomes going to be anywhere tonight between 25 fantasy points and 45 fantasy points, with Outliers being at 20 fantasy points and 50 fantasy. So they priced it right in the middle at a snappy 35, and because of that, I'll still take it. If you don't want to take the bump because the true line was 34.5, you can go over to her points, or you could even take a shot on her rebounds at 6. I don't hate it. Minnesota doesn't give up a lot of rebounds. They're second in rebounds allowed, I believe, but Collier's out of the mix, so you can take a shot there if you'd like, okay? That's my 2 cents on that. Bonner's probably going to be one of my core plays. She is one of my core plays at 34.5. At 35, I'm not sure what I would do recommending it to you guys, but go ahead and take it. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. It's just, it's 0.5 on a fantasy. 0.5 on a real point's different. I don't like taking bumps, but I still think that she's in an elite spot here, so hopefully she doesn't regress on our watch. You know what I'm saying? Alyssa Thomas, I'm probably just going to fade her. I mean, I never get her right one way or the other. If you want to go over to her first half, if you want to take a shot on 16.5 first half PRA or even her fantasy score, I think you could go there if you wanted to, but I won't. But it is in play. I know some of you guys like that. I'm trying to find, since there's 4 games, I'm trying to find, go back to my NBA roots, just take more. I hate taking less. I don't like that sweat. Why? Because it's just annoying to have to watch the games and root for them not to do something, folks. I don't like it. October 15th, mid-October, and we get NBA back, and Captain Crush will be back because I'm doing TikTok live streams every day, the community slips you all love, and I will be doing YouTube videos for NBA every single day with full analysis like I did before that brought you guys to the dance. Let's face it, you like Captain Crush for his NBA content. All right, so the next game, we got the Aces versus the Dream. I called my shot way early on. I said, if you can get the Las Vegas Aces, if someone will take your action, book that bet. My oh my, is it looking pretty, because they're dominating and crushing everyone that comes in their path. So that being said, take a look at these green beans. 48, 54, 60, 58, 29. Do I show you that to try to prove my point? No, but I will say this. She had 6 blocks and steals last game. That's 18 fantasy points alone. That's almost half of her total fantasy score, okay? She needs 20 points. That would put her at 38. Give her a couple of assists. Give her a couple of rebounds, and she soars over, all right? She's been playing next level. Atlanta, they don't play any defense. They allow a lot of points. They're probably going to get smashed. That's my only reservation, but I will be taking Asia Wilson, 4.5 fantasy score. I will ride that train till I'm forced off. It should be 45 to 46, all right? And the same thing goes for Kelsey Plum. Kelsey Plum has had a renaissance the last couple games. Look at this, 40, 37, 7, 34, 36, the all-star count. But my point is that she used to be at 26 and 27, and I was smashing unders on that all the time. But now she's found her rhythm, found her shot. I like it. She's probably going to be one of my anchors today. And I will say this, when you take these anchors, when you're right, you crush. When you're wrong, you get crushed. That's just part of this bankroll management. You're not going to win every night, so just get it in good and worry about it later. I'm coming back to these two in a minute, all right? But if you want to run back on the other side, Alicia Gray's been getting it done. 32.5 fantasy score. I absolutely have a soft spot for Alicia Gray. Sometimes she crushes me. It's that simple. But 32.5 fantasy points, that's a little bit too low for someone who's going to be averaging her fantasy point per minute, which was actually about 1.2. And I will say this, if you're not interested in her fantasy point total, you can walk on over here to her real points at 18.5 and pray that her shot falls, because she will chuck the rock, okay? Now, I said I was coming back to Kelsey, Asia, and Alicia, and I was. So I'm going to go over here to ESPN real quick for you folks and show you something about this game. It was closer than it looks, the final score, but my point is, Wilson played 36 minutes and shot 15 field goals, okay? She had 7 free throw attempts, made them all. She only had 7 rebounds. That's not normal for her. But like I said, she's been crushing blocks and steals. That's 18 fantasy points right there. 6 block. Is it normal? No, but she's probably going to average at least 3 block steals a game, which is 9. So take away 44 minus 9, you're going to get 35. And then can she make up for it in points and rebounds? Well, she's averaging 20 to 25 points a game, and then she's averaging 5 to 10 rebounds a game. So absolutely, I think so. And she even had an assist, which is rare for her, but she got it. All right. And I want to talk about Kelsey Plum. She also played 36 minutes, 8 for 14, 4 for 7 from 3, 8 for 8 from the field, 28 points. I like her to go over her points or her fantasy score, but I also like her rebounds plus assists. At 7.5, she's been getting more rebounds and assists lately. She's trending up. I think she covered the last couple games. I'm not 100% sure, and I'm not going to go look at the last 5 because I don't care. I just know that she's in an elite spot, and I know that the Atlanta play fast, played little defense, and that the Aces, even in blowout situations, they get to play full minutes. Young played 34, Plum played 36, Gray played 36, Stokes, no one cares, Asia Wilson 36. And here's the deal, Candace Parker's out, so because her being out, all their usage is going back up. Chelsea Gray, look at this, 10 for 11 from the free throw line, 7 for 12, just an absolute smash game, 8 assists. Her line's at 7.5 today. You can absolutely take it. You can take her first half fantasy. Anything you want to take with these girls, you can take it. The only fear is an absolute destruction blowout that could happen because of who they are. But on top of that, any one of them can go off. In this game, it was Plum, Gray, Wilson, and Jackie took a back seat, but she shot bad. Look at this. But she didn't have to do anything because they carried the boats. Wilson, Gray, and Plum, the trifecta. And Jackie's no slouch either. She will crush at some point. Am I taking her today? No. I'm going to focus on Plum and Wilson, and then maybe a splash of this Chelsea Gray. As far as the other Gray, you can run it back with her for her points. So all of these are in play. Asia Wilson, she was at 22.5 points last game, and she hooked. And I had her in a lot, and it cost me $950 in equity, that hook. But guess what? Now she's at 21.5, okay? So I'm going right back to the well. She had 22 points with 6 minutes left in a close game in the fourth quarter, and she hooked. If you would have told me that before, I would have been celebrating, okay? But it is what it is. So that's what I think for that game. I'm gonna move on. Talked about everything. I'm not going with any of those other Atlanta people. The only one I'll target's Alicia Gray. All right, so we have one game left, and it's gonna be Canada, Jordan Canada for the Spark, and Luca Light, Brianna Stewart for the New York Liberty. First and foremost, let's go to the community darling right here, right now. Who is it, chat? Who is it, comment guy? It's Jonquel Jones, 9 rebounds. I already know it's 5 green beans because this is what I get asked about every single day. Check this out. 13, 11, 13, 17, 11. I'm going to go over to Outlier Bet and see what else is cooking. Yeah, you want to look at the last 20? Well, if you get Outlier Bet, you can. All right. This line was at 9.5 earlier today. Then it went to 9. Then it went to 8.5. And now it's back up to 9. But if you just look at the last 5, you don't get the whole story. She had 13, 11, 13, 17, 11, 11. But look, 9, 7, 4, 4, 2, 6, 11, 10, 11. I don't know what's going on. Maybe she's eating her Wheaties now, but she's absolutely been dominating this line, and I will ride that train till I'm forced off. So if you can get it at 8.5, you take it. I'm not taking it at 9.5. Absolutely no way. But at 9, I don't like it. I don't love it. It's whatever. It's whatever. But 8.5 is what I got it at, and I took over. And I don't advocate it normally, but I have to say she's been on an absolute tear. Okay. Again, she's been eating her Wheaties, but this is what's important to me. Rebounds allowed. Los Angeles Sparks, they ranked 9th in rebounds allowed. So go ahead, girl. Get you some rebounds and do your thing, because Captain Crush, he needs you. All right. So hopefully it drops back down to 8.5 for you. I will say the long-term profitable play would be to take under here, but I'm not going to tell you guys to take under on Jonquel Jones. I'm not going to be holding that L tonight. You guys do what you want with it. I just wanted to cover it because I know a lot of people are talking about it. All right. Then we're going to go back over to the fantasy score, and I want to talk Miss Aguamike and Canada, Jordan Canada. All right. These two right here. These are the studs of the team. Jordan Canada, I like her PRA today. I like her fantasy score today. And Miss Aguamike. What can I say about Nika Aguamike other than the fact that her fantasy score line was 42 a couple days ago, okay? It's deflated because she hasn't been getting it done that much. She's in a tough matchup. She just plays guys guys another rematch, and now she's at 36.5. She put up a stinker last game, and they got blown out base 28 fantasy. I'm telling you right now, she has a 50-point ceiling. Does this count right here against Indiana? No, because they're garbage. But Dallas, another tough game. Minnesota, she had 39. Minnesota's a tough matchup, so is Dallas. My point is, she has a 50-point ceiling, and she's at 36.5. I've never seen her fantasy line this low, so if you want to take a shot on Miss Aguamike, God bless you, you can, because I will. She's not a core play, but she'll be a dart. Canada, I like her a lot. I took her last game. She cashed. It was a backdoor cover, I believe. She did it again the day before that. Another backdoor cover. There's all green beans, but look, it's going to be a sweat every time she steps on. Point is, she has a 50-point ceiling, probably has a 20-point floor, okay? Her range of outcomes is anywhere going to be 25 fantasy points to 40 fantasy points tonight, but more than likely, she's going to land at about 31 to 32 fantasy points via my model, so I will take her over 29.5, and if you don't want to risk the turnover shenanigans, you can go to her rebounds and assists at 8.5. It should be 7.5, but I don't hate it at 8.5. You could take her regular assist line, which is always play at 5.5, or you could just take her PRA, which is going to be 22.5 unless they bumped it. Let's check. Nope, they didn't bump it, so there it is at 22.5. Again, my only reservation with these games too is the blowout, okay? It's absolutely terrible to target people in blowout situations, but I will tell you this, and you need to learn this for NBA. Don't try to predict blowouts, even with the spread. Keep it in mind, keep it in that noggin, but don't try to predict blowouts. It's a fool's errand. You don't want to do that because you'll always be disappointed in the end. And then that same game, Sabrina Ionescu, 33.5 fantasy score. She's been playing absolutely out of her mind. Points, rebounds, assists, she does it all. She can explode at any moment. Look at this. Last game she played, she only had 30. She didn't shoot that well, I don't think. I had her under 16.5 points. Cash, Minnesota 58, Atlanta 26, Seattle 47, Indiana 22. She tends to go bust, crush, bust, crush, bust. Maybe today she crushes. I'm just kidding. That has no relevance. Sometimes I like to troll myself in my own sayings. But the point is, if you want to take a shot on Sabrina, you can. If you want to go to her rebounds and assist prop, which I believe is 12.5, it's actually one too high, but you still take a shot on it, okay? And then you have Luca Light, Brianna Stewart. This was at 12.5 earlier. Now it's at 13. It's still in play. I'm not going there, but she's always in play, all right? So I covered this slate. I hope you have an idea of where I'm going to be going. My goal isn't to spoon feed you picks. My goal is to just get you thinking about the correct stats/props that you should be taking, okay? I had errands to run today, and that's why this YouTube video is coming out late, but I still got it to you guys before tip, all right? And with that being said, if you want to join my Dub Club, which gives you my Discord access, the gold package, you can. CaptainCrush.net, I'll give you a list of props every single day, all month long. I'll give you a Discord live stream that you can ask me questions. I'll give you some of my slips, all of it. I give you a community that is good. They're actually, sometimes they're clowns, but most of the time they're right. I'm not trying to force this down your throat, but football is coming, and as you can see, I will be focused on DraftKings. It will be worth your money. I have other stuff coming. Stay tuned. Again, CaptainCrush.net, gold package. Don't be a cheapskate and try to sell me. Now, we have Underdog right here. What did I cook up? Pretty much the same stuff. Again, if you're new to Underdog, use promo code CRUSH. The min deposit's $10. I'll give you 30 free days in my Discord so you can get all my content for it, and then there you go. Jordan Canada, higher 29.5 fantasy points. Kelsey Plum, higher than 30.5 fantasy points. Miss Aja, quote, Asia Wilson, 44.5 fantasy points. Alicia Grise, 32.5 fantasy points. And Miss Wanna Win Bonner, 34.5 fantasy points. Who's gonna sell me today? Which one of you five? It better not be any of you, because I don't remember if I insured this slip or not. All right, and that's it, folks. That's it. Painless, right? I think it was probably about 15 to 20 minutes. I listened to me rant. If you're new here, let me know in the comments, folks. Give me a like and subscribe. Listen, I'm trying to get to 10K subs before the end of the year. I would really appreciate it. I know I'm going to take off in NFL and NBA because that's what I do. I crush those two sports. But we still have to get through this hot, disgusting summer. And to do that, I need your help. Throw me the like, throw me the sub, and if you want to comment, go ahead. I appreciate you guys listening to me rant. And if you're interested in the Dub Club, just hit me up or go to the site. Appreciate you guys. I'm giving you a salute. And one last thing. T. Pity, Olsen's going 0 for 4. No, he's not, because he crushed. Let's go. Good luck tonight. And as always, let's crush.